Okay, well, the first thing that I'm going to do before we begin is to say, first of all, a big thank you to you, Tenzin, and also a very big thank you to our audience as well, because everyone listening to this around the world, I hope that by hearing this story, you are able to find a little bit more joy, compassion, inner peace, some of these good things that you may be searching for. I will also say that this is episode 477 of the Simply Inspired podcast. Please subscribe to the channel for more information like this coming regularly. And I will lastly say that I am very, very honored to welcome a very special guest. Now, I know you as Tenzin Celon. Hopefully, I'm saying that the right way.
Yeah, you are pronouncing very nicely.
And a Gishi as well, assistant professor. And Tenzin will have his own definitions for the work he does, but I will say for our audience, this is a man who makes a positive difference to the lives of many people, both Buddhist monks and nuns and practitioners, but also lay practitioners as well, and anyone who wants to learn. So it really is an honor to be here today, Tenzin, as I mentioned. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me and allowing me to speak on your channel. And I hope that, today, whatever the interaction doing between us, it might reach to the many and many peoples. It might help others. This is what I expect.
Yes, the same here. This is what I expect, and this is why I do this. Now, as I mentioned, we've been talking, and it's been very hectic from my side. But really, I envision this interview to have a few stories from your life, but also a few lessons from Buddhism that people can learn. However, I think people who are hearing from you for the first time will be curious about you. They will be curious about the way you come from and how you came to be a monk. I have read some stories about this, but if you wouldn't mind to share with us as to how life took you to your current role as a monk, as a teacher, as an assistant professor, and why you do what you do, please. May we begin at that point, please, Tenzin? Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Tenzin Celon, and I was born in South India, and I'm a half Tibetan, and I'm half Indian. My father came from Tibet in 1959 uh, when His Holiness the Dalai Lama he flees from Tibet to India. So at that time, my father was very, very young, and he came from Tibet to India. And my mother, actually, she's Indian. She's a South Indian woman. Uh, so I don't know how they have met each other. I really don't know that. And I became a monk when I was 8 years old. It is not that, I was, I know, I understand about the Buddhas, Buddhist philosophies, Buddhist practices. It was not like that. Uh, when I was young, I frequently, not every day, but I frequently saw that, my fathers and my mothers, they are fighting very frequently. And it truly affects to my mind, my emotions. And I don't want to be like them. So sometimes my father takes me to the Tibetan monasteries. When I see the Tibetan young monks, like very teenager monks, small monks, When I see them, then I always ask my fathers, how do they live? And my father explains me that, they are dedicating their entire life to do to study about the Buddha Dharma and practicing them, and they don't do marry, you know, they don't get married. So I felt that kind of life is very, very like some kind of, nice, very beautiful. Then I like to be them. Then I decided to be a monk by myself. Then I uh, asked my father that I want to be a monk, but it took almost like a 1 year for me to be a monk because my mother, actually, in my family, we have only one son. I have another sister. I have a younger sister. So I have only one biological sister. That is my sister. That is my younger sister. Then they did not want me to be a monk, but it took so long time, almost like a 1 year, allow me to be a monk. Then finally they decided, and then I joined to the monasteries. This is how I became a monk. So that's why today, uh, my sister, she is now married, and she has two daughters and one son. So I'm always asking my brother-in-law and my sister, so like between wife and husband, there is always a fight, but don't like create a scene in front of your kids, it truly affects to their psychological level. So whatever it happened to me, so I can still, uh, I can still like feel that. I can still experience that. So that's why sometimes when we grown up, then we truly forget whatever the experience that we have gone through when we were young. We then when we were when we are in the state of anger or like a kind of like a short temper, then we forget everything. Even your kids are very near to you, standing next to you, then you forget everything, and you are making uh, too much terrible things. So that's why, whatever I have gone through, so I'm always asking to my sister. Now, through your channel, I would like to ask all the audience, if you are married, so whatever you do, we are not a Buddha. We make a mistakes, but don't try to create such a bad scenes, in front of your kids, that might be a very bad impact to the your kids. This is what I want to say.
Well, that's a very powerful message, and I appreciate you sharing it very much. I also must say as well, Tenzin, that your your English is very good, but to speak in a language is not your first language publicly, very brave. So it's very good. But I just wanted to say from my heart, yes, it's a very important message because a big part of why I do these interviews is to share this kind of knowledge. So I have to ask you another question about that because if your parents fighting and they're not getting on very well, obviously it comes from anger and it comes from, I suppose, in Buddhism, a degree of the self cherishing. I want this and I don't want you to have this, this conflict. And if people listening to this are married or they're in any situation with other people where there is conflict, there is disagreements, anger, and so forth, how can they decrease that or stop that in your experience as a Buddhist? How can they feel less angry? or have less of these issues come together, because some people will be married, they will be struggling, they will be thinking, okay, I don't want to leave my person, but I don't want to fight with them. So, do you have any advice of how we can bring that down a level?
Whatever the problem that we are having, okay, any kind of problem that you encounter in your life, the first step is that you have to calm yourself. Like if I give you an example, one time my mother was hospitalized and she had a uterus problem, and then I was there to assist her. And the doctor one day he came to me and he told me that I have seen all the caregivers who are looking after their patients, their parents, their kids, But I always noticed that uh, those caregivers are more uh, upset or more unhappy than the patients. They are always very concerned when they consult with the doctors. So, but he told me that your case is very different. So why you look some kind of, very calm and peaceful? So what is it? So can you tell me what is the secret behind of that? Then I told him that, let's say if I become unhappy, if I become very anxiety, does this help to reduce my mother's problem? If this help, then I will definitely do that, but it doesn't help, like my unhappy, my anxiety does not help to reduce the level of my mother's problem. So if I'm calm, if I'm happy, then like suddenly doctor comes to me and then asks me that your mother has to do a surgery. So I have to take a decision as a guardian. So if my mind is not like it's full of tension, then I cannot take a good decisions. So that's why calm mind is very important. Uh, like when you are having any kind of problems, then if you are very calm, then one of the uh, uh, Nalanda Buddhist scholars, who is called the Shanti Deva, he has mentioned in his textbook. The textbook is called A Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. In this book, chapter number 6, he clearly written that if there is a problem, uh, when you have a solution for your problem, then there is no uh, use of being unhappy. And if there is no solution for your problem, then there is no point of being unhappy. So when you have a problem, if you are very calm, then you can address the problem. So you can try to find out the solution. So if you have a solution, there is no use of being unhappy. You have solution. So that's why this is what I told to my doctor, that now I don't have a shortage of money. First thing. Second thing, that I have an expert like you, then there is no use of being unhappy by myself. So I'm full confidence. Now I trust you. I have got a good doctor and I don't have a shortage of money. So I'm happy now. Sooner or later, my mother will be recovered and she will be discharged from the hospital. It's like that. So if you are not very calm, then things will become worse than it already is. You will make it worse than it already is,
I understand very much. Did your mother recover from this?
Yeah,
This
yeah, yeah. She totally recovered after that.
good.
Yeah, now she's aged. She has a knee problem. Except the knee problem, her health condition is very good. No problem.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Mm,
You
mm.
know, I'm happy to hear. So, when you say about the calm mind, many people understand meditation and these things to calm the mind. I meditate every day. But at the same time, do you have other advice for how people can be more calm in to balance their mind? Because I think that a lot of, as you say, stress causes most problems, from emotional problems, mental problems, physical health problems. We take stress away, we take worry away, and I understand what you're saying very much, that it won't help, and the solution, if you have solution, if you don't have solution, I understand. But I would like to go deeper into, when people feel that emotion arise in them, how they can stop it before it gets too much. It's a simple question for you because you have practiced many years, but lay people out there, or actually people new to Buddhism, they need to know this, because there's the old saying that what is it? I think it's one moment of calm in a moment of anger prevents 1,000 moments of regret. I think the saying is that. Maybe I'm misquoting it slightly, but anyway, to your advice on that would be wonderful, Tenzin. Thank you.
So I think there is a two ways to do that. One thing is that, when you uh, have any kind of problem, if you try to look your problem from the wider perspective, like when you get such an emotion like anger, hatred, attachment, then you look to your problem from only one angle. You are not trying to uh, have a wider perspective. So if you look to your problem from the wider perspective, then I think you can uh, find out, uh, like your problem sometimes gives you a lot of opportunity to learn in your life. So let's take an example of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So he always says that, uh, I lost my country, but I became the citizen of world. So why, if you look our prob our problem for only from one angle, then it's very difficult to handle it. You might feel, frustration, then you might lose your hope. So if you look from the wider perspective, then your problem and your suffering teaches you a lot in your life. So it gives you a lot of opportunities. So if you look your problem from the wider perspective, then you will be calm by yourself. Your mind will be very steady and very calm, very clean. And then you will find out how to deal with that kind of problem. So this is very important. Use your intelligence. Try to figure out, try to like look on your problem from the wider perspective. That is very important. Then another thing, like your mind has to be internalized. or it has to be practiced, or it has to be what do you call that? It has to be like ready by itself. Before we go to the war, we have to take a training, how to shoot the guns, and how to avoid if attack comes from other sides, how to avoid it. Similarly, if you are not trained, if you haven't get any kind of training, you just jump into the war, then you are risking your life, So similarly, uh, like in your daily life, if you are trained by yourself, your mind is ready to take any kind of situation, then if you are trained, then when you see any kind of problem, when you face problem, then you know how to deal with that. Then you can maintain your peace of mind and calm mind. So that's why, like in the morning, it is very uh, good to do the meditations. So if you cannot do meditation, there are different types of meditation, very high level of meditation. If you cannot do this, at least you can do a good meditation focusing on your breathing patterns. That is good enough for us. So if you train like that, then that kind of meditation is also very powerful. You to be a very calm and peace, then whenever you see any kind of situations, then you do not react to your situation immediately. You will try to find out what are the solutions there. You can try to see your problem from the wider perspective.
Absolutely. I love that. Very valuable wisdom. Thank you. I have to ask you as well, Tenzin, that you mentioned His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, and as I understand it, you are going to be meeting him soon. You mentioned to me that you have important meeting. Is that something you can speak about here? Because it must be a wonderful experience for you that you will soon be meeting him. Am I correct in saying that, please?
It's okay, no problem. There is no any kind of big secret here. We have nothing to hide here. Everything is transparent.
Good.
Okay. I used to be a lecturer in the Dalai Lama Institute for Higher Education in Bangalore. I have been teaching there for almost like 14 years. Then I have shifted from Bangalore to the Sri Lanka now. Sri Lanka, we have one Tibetan center here. So I was requested by the office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama to go to come here and like be a resident teacher in this centers. So after that, after I come to here in Sri Lanka, then usually uh, in our center, whatever we do, there are, I think this year we have 12 projects. So whatever we do, we have to submit our report to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, like that. And also we have to take his suggestions and his feedback that whatever we do. And also like we have a few projects that still we don't have a fund for that projects. So we will also ask and discuss about this with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So that's why I'm going to meet him. Uh, we were told through email that we have to come and submit the report to His Holiness and meet His Holiness, but we have not given the date yet. So we are looking forward to get it in the end of this month. So once we get the date, then immediately we will flying from here to the Delhi and then moving towards the Dharamsala to meet His Holiness.
Wonderful. Well, I hope that everything goes very smoothly and very well, and it's such an honor for you to meet him. So I had to ask that question, just curiosity, you know. But going back to our main topics of that help people, we've mentioned about the calm mind. We have mentioned about anger and anxiety and some of these things. But also, you know, in the story you were telling earlier, another thing stands out to me that I think is a common problem, which is to develop more compassion. And I know that in Tibetan Buddhism, compassion is important. In life, it is important, but you have practices to cultivate it. And in my mind, this has two sides of compassion for others, but I also feel that maybe in the world today, people don't have compassion for themselves either. Now, it's interesting because asking a Buddhist about the concept of self is a little bit ironic, but nonetheless, you know, how people can find, um, again, you know, lay practitioners, how they can develop greater compassion for other people, but also greater compassion for themselves. In my view, this is something that the world needs to hear very much. So I would be most grateful for your thoughts on this as well, please, Tenzin. Thank you.
So it's like through the Zoom short period of the Zoom meeting, it's very difficult to describe, very uh, profoundly and very details. It's very difficult to say that, but I'll try my best to to describe this. Uh, um, no, I'll try my best. That's all, So if when we discuss about the compassion, uh, compassion actually there is a two aspects of compassions. One, the compassion that mixed with the attachment. Like if you look at the compassion and love between mother and kids, they are very powerful, not only to the human being, even to the animal kingdoms. So if you look at some animals, their mothers are risking their life for their kids, very powerful attachment. And that is also the kind of love and compassion. But that kind of love and compassion actually is mixed with the attachment. That is the biological factor. So from the Buddhist perspective, that kind of compassion is like a seed, but that is not the like unconditional compassions. So unconditional compassion has to be cultivated by doing the meditation or like a by like a compassion that has to be supported by the logic and reasons. So compassion that is supported by intelligence. So that kind of compassion is a unbiased compassion. So mother, of course, mother has a huge love and compassion towards the kid. But today, even today, we consider in our world that mother is a symbol of love and compassion. But how much mother has a strong compassion and love, but she does not able to extend that kind of compassion towards the strangers or towards her own enemies, So when we talk about the unconditional compassion, means that compassion that you can extend not only to your friends and family, you can extend it to the strangers as well as you can extend it to the your enemies also. So
And
therefore, uh, 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 this is there are many steps of doing the meditation, but I will share you only one or two steps that might be helpful to you. So first thing that we have to think that I want happiness and I seek happiness at the same times, not only in the daytime, even in the night when you are sleeping in the dream state, you are seeking happiness. And not only the human being, animals, and even the small insects, they also want the happiness like us. So all the sentient beings, all the creatures, they seek happiness like whatever you do. So we are same. Then next is, you don't want suffering and pain. So similarly, not only in the daytime, even in the sleeping, in the night when you are sleeping, you don't want suffering, Maybe some crazy people, they want suffering. Who knows that? Some crack seeking a suffering by themselves. But generally, entire like people, they don't want suffering, So all the sentient beings, they don't want pain and suffering like me. So you have to think that, okay? This is the one step. And also, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he used to say that not only they want happiness and they do not want suffering, also they have a right to achieve the happiness and they have a right to overcome their suffering. Like similarly, similarly, I have a right to achieve happiness and I have a right to overcome suffering. Similarly, everybody has the same right to seek the happiness and overcome uh, pains and suffering like that. So this is another steps. Okay, then uh, I feel that Buddha taught us about the interdependence. So we are like interconnected now. Now today we are talking about the globalization. But the Trump, President Trump doesn't like it. Yeah, globalization. Now he is talking America first. I have been now watching news, the Donald Trump's tariff over the last few years, few days, sorry, tariffs, and he has been threatening to the entire world, and imposing the tariffs, and now he's also risking what do you call that, risking a relation between their allies, and also I don't know now. Situation sometimes, uh, one aspect, we are always saying that we have made a progress in this modern world. That is true. uh, One aspect is very true. If we look at the area of science and technology, we have made a great contributions. We have made a great progress to our material comfort and well-beings, But another aspect, uh, uh, that there is a danger that we are going to lose the knowledge which contributes to develop the humankind and honest and altruistic personalities. So science and technology, it is advanced, and advanced in the knowledge of science and technology is not sufficient because still uh, we have our basic problem. Our basic problems are remain. We are not succeed to bring peace, and we are not able to overcome our basic problems. So science and technology cannot replace the spiritual values. I'm not denying that, any benefits of the material life. I'm not denying the science and technologies, but, we still are facing with fear. We are living in the state of fear now. Now, recently, after Donald Trump uh, announced about this tariff, I think one of the Singaporean leader, I think he is the Prime Minister of Singapore. He has said, that kind of imposing tariffs can lead to the Third World War. So it's very dangerous. Now we are still living in the state of tension, fear like that. So that's why what I'm trying to say that, now it's a time that we have to strike a balance between the science and spiritualities. This is what I want to say. So I'm coming back to the point now. So everything is interdependence now. So today we are enjoying the breakfast. If we look at the breakfast, not only the human beings, there are many animals are the behind of your breakfast. And we are using right now the laptop and cell phones. Right now you are, I'm talking to you through my laptop. So cell phone maybe. Then these are like, we are like using it like as a take for granted. So if we try to figure out, then we can see the millions and millions of people are behind of this. We are so millions and millions people. When I talk about myself, when I say I is one individual person. When we talk about others, others means millions and the billions. So one is important or the billions are important. You have to think this.
I understand the
Okay.
change of
Can
perspective.
you see that one and billions, which is more important?
Well,
Sacrificing oneself for the billions is a good idea, or the sacrificing billions for only one individual.
well, it's got to be for
So everything is interconnected like that. So we have Buddha has taught us the concept of dependent originations. He taught us about the uh, interdependence, the concept of interdependence. There's so that's why, I think that we have to find out the win-win situations. We cannot find out the win-loss situation. If you want to do that, that is very risky these days, because I tell you one story. I think last year or maybe a couple of years ago, in India, one state which grows a lot of onions there, onions.
Mhm.
So that states, actually it happened a flood there. So they lost their business. And India, the price of onion, like it spikes up. It 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 went up to the 200 rupees per kilo, like that. Usually in India, per kg for onion is like 20 rupees. Now it at that time it has gone up to the 200 rupees. So so therefore, something happened to happened bad to them, but that affect to us. So east and west, they are connected to each other.
Yes.
You know, is if east lost, it will definitely affect to the west. If something happened to the west, it will definitely affect to the east. So now every like entire world is interconnected, heavily interconnected to each other.
I understand. I understand. It's a wonderful example. Now, Tenzin, as I mentioned, I will have to go shortly in just a moment because of so many things happening here. But I'm really grateful to you for sharing these things, because I say to people when I do these talks that if we encourage even one person to change and to change your perspective, to think about things a little bit differently, to feel differently, and then they change their interactions with other people. We have done wonderful work. Now, I know today it will be more than that, but I am very, very grateful for you sharing these things in such a way that is practical and applicable to daily life. And I appreciate that. It's very, very inspiring, very inspiring. And today, I know we haven't had as much time as I said, but we've covered a few good things that people can take away and begin to put into practice, or if they're already practicing it, they can go a bit deeper into that. So I would like to thank you very, very much for that. And I would like to say that I extend my warmest wishes to you, to your loved ones, and that I hope that your meeting with His Holiness goes very, very well. And in the future, maybe we will connect for another talk as well, because with some people, sometimes that happens where there's a topic I feel is very relevant, that people need to learn more, and we can collaborate to share it. But for now, this one is wonderful because it's simple, but it takes practice to apply it. So it's a very good balance that people can work on. I've learned a lot, so I'm sure that other people will as well. So thank you so much. And yes, I must go, but I wish you a wonderful evening. And also, when I release this, I will send to you as well, so that if you would like to use anywhere, you can have it also to use. But
I will share it. I will share it on my Facebook.
thank you. That's very kind. Very
And
kind.
also I can share with my friends also. I did
Yeah.
such a good interview.
Please,
Okay.
please.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah. And you have been asked me to do the interview, I think few months ago. How many months? I don't remember exactly.
Yes, on LinkedIn, sometime last year it was. Yes. So
Yeah, yeah. It's been, I think maybe last year you asked me to do this. Today, we are doing this. So we are doing this now. So it's been a long time. So thank you so much for giving me such a good platform, so I can connect with other people. So if you want me to come back again and speak with you, talk with you for another session, I will definitely do that. So I'll see about my schedule. Then
absolutely.
we can manage it. Then maybe we can do it again.
I hope so. I hope so. And we can talk about some other topics that will help people in a different way. And
Yeah. Also, we can do something that if your audience has any particular topic to discuss, then we can focus on that.
I will. I'll put the word out and see what they say. Very much is not a problem. And I will say to our viewers as well that anyone who would like to learn from you, they should contact you directly, because certain
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
he's on social media, guys. Tenzin Celon, Facebook, LinkedIn. So please do reach out to him as well, because you have a very good heart to help people. So yes, I will be in touch very soon. I must go, but yes, have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much, Tenzin. It's been a joy and it's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See.
See you. See you. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.